Semen retention. Why does your charisma and magnetism increase? I just got to point out the pitfall to this. A lot of people are doing semen retention because it's coming from ego. It's not really coming from your higher self. The ego wants to do semen retention so that then it can get the charisma and magnetism, so then it can get more girls. Well, guess what's going to happen then? That means by default, you're in lust again if you're doing that. And you're going to be in edging again. You can see my edging playlist if you don't know what edging is. And then what? Then you're going to be back to losing your semen again. It's like a circle of problems, you know. So, just wanted to say that. The Latin meaning for charisma, I believe, is full of spirit. You know? So, when you're full of spirit, you're going to be shining. It doesn't matter. You can be 80, 90 years old. I remember there was a pastor at this church I went to in LA 20-some years ago, and he was sharing this story, and I remember because it touched me. This person was in a wheelchair, and they were like 85 years old, and he was pushing her down the aisle, and everybody was just looking. They couldn't stop looking. You'd be talking to your friend, you don't even know that somebody's coming, but then something will just grab you, just make you look. This person had magnetism. Magnet means it pulls you. It's a magnet. So why does semen retention give you that? Because you're conserving your life force. More life force, the more energy you have. Why did everybody like Robin Williams so much? The comedian. He had so much energy. A lot of it was coming from cocaine, but he had so much energy because I had an interview with the manager when I was acting, and she represented him at some point, and she was explaining, because when I walked in, she didn't really, she was honest. She's like, I don't really know what to do with you, because they got to know what to do with you, how to market you, you know. I didn't know myself. I wasn't balanced. I also didn't know what to do with me. I was like wanting her to tell me. So then she gave an example talking about Robin Williams. She's like, when he came in, I knew exactly. He's jumping on the wall, he's doing, all the. I'm not saying like that's cool and we should do that, but what I'm saying is, damn, what am I saying? He had a lot of energy. That's what I'm saying. That's contagious. That a lot of these comedians, they try to crank it up, but the more energy you have on stage, or look at Conor McGregor. Why is he so popular? And he just turns up the energy when he's there. It's like contagious when you have that kind of energy, and it makes people pay attention to you, negatively or positively. But just saying. So when you're preserving your semen, you have more energy, you have more life force. It doesn't have to be on gross. You don't have to jump around. The highest energy is like what I shared about. They were pushing the lady down the hall, the aisle in the wheelchair. She wasn't jumping around. Her energy was more subtle. It was more spiritual. It was more gripping on a subtle level. That's what semen retention will do. It will also give you, if you're younger, it will also give you full-on physical energy. But that's secondary, I have to say. The real energy you want is this balance inside, this heart energy. You have compassion for people, for life. You're not all in. You don't have this inner emotional turmoil. You see. Your energy is balanced. Semen retention does that. Then that translates into, you have charisma, your spiritual nature shining through more. And you have magnetism. People they get drawn to you. They're drawn to you. I've shared in a video about how that, again, there's duality. That it's not necessarily always a good thing, but we're just focused on the fact of why semen retention will increase your magnetism and charisma. And also, it's the highest level energy that you're conserving. You're conserving your ojas. This is like a different grade of energy. We're not talking about, there's different grades of energy. Eat white sugar. You'll get some energy, but that's you don't want that energy. That's like a crashing energy. It's like just up and down. Or when we're edging, when we're into dopamine addiction, doing our thing, you can get some energy from the dopamine release, but then you're going to crash, and it's going to make you an addict. You can get energy from food, good food. That's a nice energy, but it's not as high level as the ojas. The ojas, that grade of energy, it's like in Hollywood, they have different grades for the actors. Like the ojas is like an A-list actor. That's how De Niro was, and Pacino, and And then the lowest energy is like a Vidmark movie, where it's like, man, like, did they ever take an acting class? That's why I was like, man, I can go to Hollywood, like, please. So the Vidmark movies are like the dopamine addiction energy that you get. So when you got this high grade energy, that's going to translate, that's going to open subtle channels that normally aren't open. It's like there's certain channels nothing can open except the ojas or a spiritual practice. Best is both combined. When those channels get open, you can see it. You're going to look different. You're going to look different than, you cannot look that way unless you preserve your ojas. It's like it gives the ojas, preserving your semen gives benefits that nothing else can give you. And part of that is this energetic attraction that starts to come up in this magnetism. And others don't know it. They don't know why they're attracted. They're just attracted. They might, and then they'll catch it. They'll be like, damn, why am I looking so hard at the, like a girl, I gotta stop looking. She'll stop. She maybe look one more time. It's a very gripping, it's similar to when we're doing PMO. If you're looking at that screen, looking porn, looking at that, you notice how that's like a dark vortex? That's a dark magnetic force. Because you can stay on there, people stayed on all night for, maybe 48 hours at a time. I don't know. Because it grips you. You're like, it's like this whirlpool of darkness just pulls you in. So the opposite of that is a positive magnetic attraction, like some of these masters have had, Jesus or Buddha or Krishna, or there's thousands. So that's the level that we're interested in, I assume, and this is what the first step is, preserving our ojas. Don't lose your semen. And then you add a spiritual practice on top of that, and then good, healthy lifestyle habits. Man, you're good. That's why I keep preaching. People ask questions. Well, I don't know. What do I do? I just feel really low, or I feel down, or it's always the same thing. Preserve your semen. Have good, introspect your life. See, am I doing things that I shouldn't be doing that are keeping me small and stuck? If I am, stop that. And then do the opposite, the positive things. Go out to nature, go to a private beach, swim in the ocean, go to a sauna. Just use your intelligence and make a list of positive things you can do that's going to raise your frequency. So you do all that, you preserve your semen, then you have some spiritual practice. You can watch my spiritual channel, see if you jive with that. And that's all you can do. What else can you do? But if you're doing all that consistently, you're going to have magnetism and charisma. But don't let the ego take that and use it for its own purposes and try to use that to get attention. You see? That's the trap. And then you'll lose it. And then you'll have to get it again. And then you'll lose it. I did that for years. I would use this light, these gifts, I would turn it over to the ego, and I would go out and try to milk the attention I would get. I'm like, check this light. And it would work for a little bit, but then it would dissipate. And I'm like, damn it, I do that every time. I just couldn't stop doing it. It's an evolutionary thing. We wake up when we wake up. But I think it helps hearing people talk about this so we can expose how the ego works and how the negative part of our mind works. When there's consciousness around that, we can break the habit faster. This is my goal and purpose for making videos. Take care.